Good evening, everybody. It's really late. I didn't do an intro and I did the reading this morning. So this reading is basically a long-winded title. When it gets to a thumbnail, it'll have to be shorter, but it's recognising and understanding what's behind a deep spiritual connection in your life. That is what it is. We're looking a bit by bit how to recognise the person, whether it's got a karmic connection, how will it be delivered emotionally, how will you perceive it. It's lots of little things like this. So that's what it is. As I said, the thumbnail won't be saying that. But these are your three choices. The first choice is the King of Wands, which looks like Ines Bray. The second choice is the Three of Cups. And the third choice is the Emperor card. It looks like Colonel Sanders. I'm not sure who Colonel Sanders is. I don't know if it's something to do with Kentucky Fried Chicken, but those are your three cards. And hopefully I'll see you in a minute to see how your piles turn out. Thank you. See you in a minute. Good morning. Pile number one. I did start this reading about 2 days ago and it got cut off from my camera and it wiped it all off. So I've left it a couple of days and I've left pile number one out because I enjoyed reading it. I can't remember why, because it looks totally fresh to me now. I didn't get to turn in this card over and I know I added to this card here. I'm going to go through it slowly. I don't know if things have changed, but possibly not. Let's just go with it. So the title of this is something around reconnecting with a spiritual partner. How will you know? What will you feel? What's the emotional connection? Is there a karmic connection? The first card that we've got here is the Hierophant card, which is their spiritual energy. The Hierophant card, and I don't know if this is different for everybody, but the Hierophant card is a Taurian card that often speaks of slow and steady. To me, there's a conservative feeling to it. I don't know if that bit is personal. As we see life through our own eyes, don't we? Well, I've got glasses on, I don't know. Taurian people, or that type of energy, tends to be very measured, very sort of caring and kind and considerate, and not easily shaken by events or by other people's moods or other people's thought processes, which to me is very essential, I suppose the word is. Something very attractive about it. So that's what I guess your person's spiritual energy is going to feel like, almost like an old soul, somebody that if there's people around that disagree with them or a little bit high, it's like then they don't care. So they know who they are and they're just not going to change. So something very attractive in that. The next card was physical recognition. How will you notice them? I remember what I said last time when I saw this pile was the Tower card is two different feelings. The first one was that you will recognise them. You will feel that you know them. And I can remember that being almost seconded down here with these cards down here, which I'll get to later. But the Tower card as well is a Plutonic type card. And if you're looking at people with heavy Pluto, you can tend to see it around the eyes and in their colouring. They tend to have, of course, it'd be different for different coloured skin, but they tend to have dark eyes and darker around the eyes. I always think that Benicio del Toro looks Plutonic because it tends to have like darkness around his eyes. I don't actually think he is, but that's as soon as I see him, I think that. But it's normally a lot to do with the gaze as well. There is, in a Plutonic type people, there is, again, if you made somebody do a skit of recognising somebody who's heavy Plutonic, you would basically it would be in the eye lock. It would be recognising each other through the eyes and staring at each other. And I didn't say this last time, but I know my Scorpio, Pluto Scorpio, that's the ruler of Scorpio. My Scorpio sister met her husband, who's also Scorpio, at an open mic night. I'm sure this is too much information. And she said that they just stared at each other across the crowd for, I guess it was about 2 or 3 hours. And I thought, yeah, that is you. That's how she meets people. And I think that's what that Tower card would say to me. Darker than the rest of the family. Darkness around the eyes, an intensity in the gaze, and a recognition when the eyes lock. Possibly. Did I say the word swarthy? Yeah. Swarthy looking. bit of a Heathcliff, something like that type of feel. I'm going to leave it there. So that's how you recognise them. The next card was, what was a past life connection or situation? And you've got the Ten of Cups, which to me, and it's all coming back to me a little bit now, when I saw this card, there's a feeling of sorry, I can hear people talking downstairs. It's like family, it's connection, and it could be you have been their child, they have been your child, you have been lovers, you have been the father, you've been the mother. It could be many past lives with this card here, because the Ten of Cups is going to be an emotional journey, and it's the end of that journey. I'm not saying you won't reconnect again, I'm just saying the Ten of Cups, that's what I would read into it. With the picture, knowing it's emotional connection, with the fact that you've been from 1 to 10 already with the cups, and you've got this sort of like family, you know, the child here as well. So I would guess you've known each other for a long time, many visitations or karmic connections in past lifetimes together is probably what I would feel there, that were based on emotional contact. Good or bad, it doesn't say either way, but there's a bind there. It's like a Saturnian feeling with the picture, I guess, and it's been a journey, so it would have changed each time. So yes, past life connection very strong there. I do remember getting mixed up with this card here, or not mixed up, but didn't quite understand it. This card here is more information on the emotional connection. You've got the Queen of Swords. Now, the Queen of Swords is not emotional. The Queen of Swords is straight. The mind is straight. I'm going to say Elon Musk then, but I know he's got Cancer rising, but it is normally, and I'm not saying his mind is straight, but it's like somebody who's factual and somebody who is quite terse with the way that they speak. So I'm going to leave that there, because I think that did actually fall in with the rest of the cards where it made sense. And I was wondering as well, this may be right, that I think that could be you. It may be a way that you relate emotionally, could be a little bit sort of watchful, almost guarded a little bit. I'll relax when I know that you love me first rather than the other way around. Just thoughts there. And you've got here, the card that I put over this card was the Seven of Cups again. So you've got another cup card there over what I guess is the tough cookie Queen of Swords card there. I can't remember what I thought, but I'm guessing it was like options, or or possibly a Neptunian link, which is softening. You have choices how to love in this lifetime. You've come together many times. You know, maybe my thought was, I think, it doesn't really matter what my thought was, but there is a feeling inside of me that maybe you find it difficult to be loved. It's just like something you just don't, you don't think about that much. You just think, okay, well, I'm just getting on with it. And there's a generational thing in that sometimes as well. I don't know much about the generations and what they're called, gen this, gen that. Honestly, I'm rubbish at that. But there is an element of perhaps the older people almost just getting on with it and not asking questions. And I can't quite figure out why that was. Because our parents ignored us. I think if you're as old as me, it was because our parents ignored us, so we didn't ask. But so you've got here softening, you've got here possibility, options, possibly change there. So you may have had lifetimes together over and over again, changing position. Maybe there was an issue that reared itself up, regardless of whether you're the child or the mother or whether you were lovers, where you felt that I'm just getting on with it, everything's straightforward, I don't mind if I'm loved or not. And then you've got this lifetime here where there's possibilities for change to do with emotions. So yeah, the next card is, that's why I've got my glasses on, because I'm reading the placements on the side. Have you met in this lifetime? Okay, and I know what I would have said with this. This is the Nine of Cups here. So there's like, again, it's emotions with cup cards, but you've got Nine of Cups is often depicted with looking like somebody's about to have a drink. So you possibly could have seen each other on a night out. You possibly could have spent some time together and not even known that person was in the room with you. But it would be something sociable, possibly something to do with drinking or socializing. And that's a happy card, and it's like a wish fulfillment card. So you possibly have met each other, but maybe not recognized it. And that may sound a weird thing to say, but I met my husband when I was about 7, and I was up a tree, and he was there with his sister. And I found out later that's where he went on holiday. And I thought, yeah, I remember meeting your sister because she was very bolshy, and she still is bolshy. It's like, what are you doing at that tree? And I can remember a young boy beside her. Yeah, so I think that you possibly have met each other or been in the same sort of social group without maybe not even knowing, or social situation actually rather than group, possibly there. The next card down here is the Lovers card, and you've got, your spiritual energy, which is nice because you've got this cooler card up here. Yeah, okay, I've written little bits by the side of it. So the Lovers card is your spiritual energy. How do they see it? I have to look really close. I've just drawn a picture of an eye next to it with their eyes. So the Lovers card, and you've got the Queen of Swords here. It's like you've come into this lifetime, perhaps it's like a North Node feeling. Perhaps there may be a South Node, something there to give you this story or add to the story. Wanting to find love and to be reciprocated, and for it to be reciprocated. So you're prepared to give, you're prepared to accept, and the same as the other person. It's equality. It's the twins. It's Gemini. It's normally two people. Masculine and feminine. It doesn't mean male and female, but it will mean masculine and feminine. The other half. Okay, so yeah, that's how they recognise you. It's like open and it's immediate, and it's a bit like the Tower card there, but softer. It's like a karmic pull, deja vu. I know you. You are, when this just happens, doesn't it? You just recognise people and you don't even know why, but it's immediate, and it can be very profound or a very strong feeling of recognition, and normally quite an emotional, unexplainable feeling. Really difficult to explain, but I think everybody's had it, and I love it. And it's almost like poking through a veil from something that has happened before. It's something I think that happens possibly in yourselves. And with these emotional cards down here, it is emotions that bring us back time after time after time. And if you think that may sound a bit weird, my thoughts are, if you get like battlefields that you can often have like energy, or ghost hunters, remember those on TV? We used to watch those with my son. It's because it's trauma and it's emotional, and you get people or energy brought back to that moment. And when you have people that are murdered, you often get them, walking through walls or in the same place where they're murdered because of the shock. And that can often be used, wait for this, on a worldwide scale. Let's just say the world is ruled by people, are you ready for this, that actually understand that type of energy, what's going on in the world, but not from like a softer point of view, like we try and dig and delve into things, but from a harder, more control point of view. To be able to trap people here, to keep them coming back, what they would do would introduce shocking tactics. And then that energy would tend to be stuck there, I guess. So I'm not going to go through those just in case, anybody's been through a situation. I'll go through one where people aren't here, but something like Pearl Harbor. I was going to say some that are more recent, but it's difficult. So be careful how we're manipulated in some ways, I guess. Yeah, ignore that. Ignore that if it doesn't interest you. But that type of things interest me. And I was listening to an astrologer the other day, and he said Geminis are, and it made me laugh, it was attention sluts. And I thought, my God, yes, that is true. We take in information, we don't care whether it's true or not, and then we play with it. And I think, that I enjoy doing that. So, okay, the next card is, how do they recognise you? So this is more physically. Oh, you've got the 8 of Cups here. Okay, so the Lovers card here, I said open for love. I don't think it is. I think I lied to you there. If you've got the 10 of Cups here, where they recognise that as a karmic pull, they recognise you physically without doubt, and it will be strong. I think that is it. That's what it must be, not the extra bit that I added. If you've got cool energy here with options to do with emotions, possibly delving emotionally into this lifetime with this person, And you've got this card for how will they recognize you, and which is basically walking away from emotional situations. I think they will recognize you from walking away from them, from pulling away from them. So if you are coming in, now I'm remembering what I said, if you're coming to this lifetime knowing this person, you will both recognise each other in such a strong way, but I think you will play it either hard to get or cool or walk away, or that the energy may be so intense that it will shock you, the Tower card there, that you will try and pull back. And they will, I don't know how they're going to react to that, but that's what they recognise, because it will be an issue that maybe from past lifetimes where you've been very close together, but that person would have recognised that you may have felt unlovable. Which is a strange thing again to say, but it's self-protective sort of energy there, moving away from the emotions. And I wonder a lot of time playing, hard to get can be that. It's like the other person then has to prove themselves a little bit or try that a bit harder, so you know that they're not just playing with you because you may be sensitive. It's that type of feeling there. This card here is why will you meet again now? And this is more of a practical card. You've got the Ten of Cups here and the Ten of Pentacles down here. Accumulation, the journey of whatever suit it is. I'm going to say sweet then. Journey of emotions, journey of practicalities. So you've got here with 2 tens here that you have spent time together. You're meant to ground it again in this lifetime, which would mean family, house, possibly children, possibly, I'll show you the card. It's commitment, really. It's like a Saturn type quality. In astrology, most of the time we look at Saturn and we think, oh gosh, Saturn, that's a bit dour or hard. But Saturn is much needed. When you put 2 charts together in astrology and you think, are you two meant to be together? And you see a Saturn connection, there's a little bit of glee in my heart, which is not normally what I think when I see Saturn. I think, oh no, hard work. Because it shows you've got time together to be able to go through issues. So that's why you've met, to spend time together in a practical way. This isn't somebody who should be in and out of your life too often. You possibly will end up with this person and it will feel very down to earth. It's a person that you can turn around to in the morning and they make a cup of tea for, they make you a cup of tea. It's somebody who picks the kids up from school. It's all that type of everyday mundanity, which is an accumulation of connections of the past. Now these 2 cards here were, why are they back? Why are you back together? And this is more like emotional and spiritual. You've got the King of Pentacles, and I know that I would have put these 2 together because they go together. Pentacle energy, earthy energy. Your person is the King of Pentacles. They are good at grounding things. They're good at making things real. So they're not the type of person who possibly thinks too straight, that they think that, oh, what's the point? I'll see if it happens, but I'll just carry on with it if not, which could be you. And I will keep myself to myself until I know exactly what's right. This person will be very practical. The King of Pentacles is somebody who will say, if I like somebody, I'm going to see whether it works. There won't be other thoughts, like anxiety thoughts, being fed into that. And that is why the Hierophant and the King of Pentacles down here, that's why they're so attractive. Because I don't know what the word is. There's just it's anxiety, which people with lots of air in their charts can be. Lots of water can worry. Why Earth is, and you can get all the signs of like good and bad. Now Earth in its probably worst sense could be inconsiderate for other people's emotions, or that type of thing, or not very perceptive. But in the best possible way, which seems to be coming through here with the tens, it's like they're just like, let's just get on with it. If you like me, you like me, so let's be together. Let me show you a picture. And that is nice. I was just, to be honest, watching my husband sat on the his Virgo rising, and his mum especially, is very earthy, very Virgo, and I was watching him talking to the kids downstairs, like son's got some friends round, and I thought, you just are, aren't you? He's not thinking anything. He's not thinking whether my son has fed the children. They're not children, actually, they're in 20s. Whether my son has fed them. He's not thinking whether, you know, have the kids had a coffee this morning, or did the dog wake them up howling. He's just talking about what he's talking about at that moment. And that's why we love earthy people, because they just are. Okay, and that's possibly why you've been brought back together, to sort of counteract a feeling of bringing in things that aren't needed, which could be thoughts of, I keep saying unlovable, but it could be lots of different things. It could be just anxiety thoughts. You know, perhaps you're somebody who's got a fast mind and you're wondering this, wondering that. And I guess in life, for everybody, we all need to shut that down. We do need to be more like this, just in the moment. And we think that if the more that we think, the further we're going to get, or we can perhaps prevent something from happening, and hence the why it possibly can be, you know, if people think too much, it can turn into anxiety. But the King of Pentacles in this connection is very much what's needed, is to slow it down and just be with that person. Now, this is the one I haven't turned over, which is the same sort of thing, really. The spiritual connection is a feeling of being shut out. So this, and I think that's been talked about here already, because you've got emotionally walking away, and I won't go through it again. I'm going to start summing it up here. Reconnecting with a spiritual partner is going to be something that has gone on in the past, where you feel that the connection is so strong that you're recognizing them immediately. There's going to be no doubt that that is the person that you're going to end up with. This person will be steady, slow moving, calm, completely relaxed in who they are and what they're doing. If you could possibly criticise that, I would say that they could be a little bit too slow. Depends on how much earth you've got inside you. I think for you, it's exactly what you need, because there's no questioning here. This person says what they're thinking, and they want what they can see, and it's just very straightforward. You've had many lifetimes together, and you're going to get a chance in this lifetime to spend time together to get to an issue, which I think is you walking away from situations before they're over, because you filled in the gaps with your head that aren't actually real. You've made stories up inside your head, and this person, and it could have led to some sort of confusion, because you have got the Tower card here, where the situation is ending, it didn't need to. And you've got here somebody steady, and you've got here the Pentacle card is shutting yourself out of a situation, shutting yourself away from love. Again, back to this Neptunian card, spiritual love, options, where you didn't need to. I think you're possibly too hard on yourself, and this person is going to be caring, steady there for a long-term relationship is what I would say. Yeah, that's what I've gotten there. So that would possibly be somebody who's coming back into your life. I'm going to leave that there, pile number one. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. Bye. Okay, pile number two. Let's go through these one by one. This is the question is reconnecting with a spiritual partner. I'm looking at how will you recognise them? What's the, why have you been brought back together? Or is it your first getting together? That type of thing. Let's go through it bit by bit. Hopefully as it develops, we'll be able to knit some placements together to give us more depth. Hopefully. So your first card is the Magician card, and that is their spiritual energy. The Magician card is a strong card to have for spiritual energy, because it's right at the top of the chain. The Fool card, raw spirit, splits into male and female, and the Magician card is the masculine of the High Priestess. So that is energy that is very heightened with regards to being able to get what they want out of life. Somebody who is very proactive, very strong subconscious as well, very intuitive, and that's what we're here for. And they do it very well. We're all here to create, and that is probably the best card for, I guess, creating. And this person does it in a way that you will notice. That is the energy. It would be somebody who is in charge possibly of people, or somebody who's extremely creative. Maybe their job is creative, and they get on with it. It's not somebody who has writer's block or whatever the version is for whatever they do too often. They may get it, but they will keep moving with it until they get that inspiration. They will move themselves out of situations if they get stale. This isn't somebody who feels sorry for themselves. This is somebody who's excited about life and takes charge. So that's probably what I would get from the Magician card. How will you recognise them physically? The Hangman. I'm going to say youth then, because there's a certain age when we all like to hang upside down to look better. Or just lie on the bed and perhaps take a picture of your, not like that, but take a picture of your face when your skin's not down your neck. There could be that. There could be an element of youth there, but to be honest, what I would go to is to recognise them physically. This is a card of Neptune. When you're looking at Neptunian people, there are certain things that you notice. One, I'm going to say some weird things now, but I'm just going to say them anyway. Eyes can tend to be, with Pisces, Neptune strong, very icy, very cool coloured, as in a lot cooler than the rest of the family. They can often have like a White Walker type of feel about it. Ears, Sagittarius and Pisces, you can often recognise them by their ears. Pisces tend to be smaller, but they can often stick a little bit off the side of the head, rather than being pinned to the head. And I know that's quite popular in, is it Korea at the moment? I think it's Korea. I'm thinking, oh no. I don't know if I'd, only because I used to know a little girl who I used to teach that had hers pinned back. I thought, oh my gosh, poor kid, she'll have it undone now. So again, but what else is there, Pisces? Weird things that I notice, often pigeon-toed. They can walk slightly with their toes inward. There's a real love of water and the sea, often a creativity, but possibly the thing that you'll notice most of all is that they are sweet, soft, forgiving, caring, funny, often chatty in a way that they can talk a lot of crap, and that's why we love Pisces, because they do. They can tend to talk about anything and put a bit of sparkle on it, and they don't care. There's a bit of theatrical air with Pisces in the way that they speak and the things that they talk about, which is most of my friends have got a lot of Pisces in them as well, and it is a bit like jazz time, like jazz hands, and yeah, I just like to listen. But that is possibly, there will be a fluidity, there'll be an openness and a kindness, a creativity and a spiritual quality about them. So this person knows, maybe without even knowing who they are, why they're here. And it wouldn't surprise me whether they have very sort of profound dreams. Let me just switch my phone off. You will recognise that in their face, as in like, I'm not going to play. It's like, well, I've seen it all before type feeling. Excuse me, I'm just turning my phone off. It never turns off, even when I turn it off in many different ways. Yes. Which is very attractive. It's somebody you can't play with, is what I would say there, and somebody you wouldn't want to play with, because you can see their ability to create and their ability to forgive, and something deep inside you will think, well, that's why we're all here. Okay, so past life connection, the situation more so. Basically, that just says past life connection. This is the card for past life connection. You can see it with the mother giving the flowers to the child, the cups there. It's normally in a garden with a background of a building, which is to show some sort of, it's like, what's the word, not hereditary, it's like something that is of the past, that is supposed to show that it's passed down through the family. They've known each other for a long time and it's in the family. And the relationship here between mother and child, sentimentality, love, kindness, that has, you know, it's passed down. It's like going back into the past, basically. That's what it says, and I've just explained it in a very rubbish way. So but what it's saying there is a strong, strong card for, yes, you have had a past life connection. It's two kids in the garden sharing things. It's like, yeah, I know you. Let's play. The building at the back is like, we've met many times before. You know, that we keep coming back to the same place, even that type of feeling. And there's kindness and forgiveness and a strong connection there. Yeah, I'm going to leave that there before I rant on about that a bit anymore. So emotional connection. Let's just have a look at emotions. Yeah, I was going to say, if that would have been a really difficult card, it would have taken me down a track that would have been very difficult to explain. The Nine of Cups is glee and success, emotional success. It's like, yeah, I found you. And so in a past life, it was positive, it was giving, it was open, it was joyous, it was caring, it was either best buddies, best lovers, or the family member that you never wanted to get away from, that you always wanted to be with. And to be honest, in here, there's a sense of ease in here. There's nothing traumatic or dark or difficult. With these two cards here in the placements that they're in, it shows openness and kindness and love and a generous spirit between the pair of you. So I guess when you meet this person, and I've experienced this before I met somebody, when I kept dreaming about them, everything was almost like, it's like sweetness with the dreams. And when I met them, it was exactly like that. And it was all like holding hands and really ridiculously stupid things, like putting hands out of windows together and, oh my God, this is ridiculous, and smiling, and it just been very free. And that's what this feels like. It's sweetness. It's kindness. So have you met this person already? See what we can get out of this one. Oh, sorry, I just chucked a lady off the side there. So Swedish lady. No. That's it. That's your answer. I don't think you have. I don't think you were allowed to with this card here. It just wasn't the right timing. It's almost like if you see, I do a lot of astrology, and when I see people's charts, when they meet or when a child comes into their life, you can often see the impact that that child has on them. I mean, it'll be both ways, but the right transits, the right progressions, that right moment in time that, I'm going to say, exemplifies that energy. That's a really bad word to use, but I can't think of a different one, that characterises that energy has not come yet. You haven't met this person yet, even if you possibly are watching this thinking that you have. There is somebody out there that is very at home in their body, very kind, very in the know, but without pushing life, that you have been with before, that when you do meet them is going to blow your socks off in a way that, let's just say you're shy or you're nervous around people that you're attracted to. With this person, it will be different. You won't be. I would not think with this energy here. It will be recognised straight away. It will be open and it will be easy. It's almost like it's like feeding a fire in some way. It's like it just burns. It gets warmer and warmer. Yeah, I don't think you've met them yet. Okay, your spiritual energy, what will they recognise about your aura, I guess? I don't know if aura was the right word there when they first meet you. Fire, excitement. If you've got the Magician card there, which is igniting something, making something, I use the word creative. This possibly is the Eros. It's probably one of the most creative cards in the pack, but it's often to do with something that happens fast, where, oh my gosh, don't we love Eros placements? This is what it feels like. This is what you will feel like. If you are, I have to translate it to astrology sometimes. Let's just say their little chart is sat there. This person's very understanding of life and what goes on behind life. And then you are an Eros transit on their moon, on their Venus. What it will feel like will be, oh my God, this is so exciting. This is gonna go somewhere. It's like when the fairground comes to your little town or village when you were a kid, or when you live in the UK, it doesn't snow very often, you look outside and everything's white. That's what it will feel like. That's what your energy will feel like to them. Exciting, new, and I was gonna say get your wellies on and get outside, which is what we used to do here. You'd get up at 5 in the morning and you'd be out in the snow because you know it might not last all day. That's what they will feel like. This has got to move quickly. And you will feel the same as well, I think, when you meet them, to have that card there. Again, both of these cards are creative. And I have a deep respect for this type of energy, because we are all here to create. And that may be the only reason that we are here, to play with creating lives. And it's all, it's in, I don't know. None of us really know, I don't think. Maybe people have had out-of-body experiences. Maybe people that have had near-death experiences possibly know a lot more. But yeah, I think that's what it is. It's the excitement of creating, and that's how the person will recognise you, because you will feel like life. You will feel like this is what I'm meant to feel like. Everything is an option, a possibility, and there's enthusiasm in there. And I suppose the word inspiration comes from, like, it's spirit, isn't it? That's what it is. It's recognising your spirit and, oh my God, I feel inspired. That's what you'll make them feel like. It won't be inspired, maybe, to go and do like some great oil painting. It'll be to get stuck in life, excited. Okay, so how will they recognise you physically is the next one. The Temperance card here is a Jupiterian card. So how do you recognise Jupiterian people? I don't know if anybody watches astrology videos. I'm going to try and get some names out now, which I'm awful at. There is I can hear music outside. There is an English actress called Dawn French. If you watch her speak, she has a wobbly, large mouth. There is I think she's American, astrologer called Joan Patry, maybe something like that. When you watch her speak, she has a wobbly mouth. That is just something bizarre. It basically, when you're looking at Sagittarian energy, one of the things you can spot are the mouth is often wide. Lips not particularly big, but the mouth is almost like it's going in its own direction. And you can spot them a mile off. I don't know if Joan Patry is Sagittarius, but she certainly looks like it. I think Dawn French has got Sagittarius rising. Go and Google their pictures after this. Or even better, have a look on YouTube, watch them speak. Cameron Diaz, again, what you do often get with Sagittarius is long limbs, longer legs, an openness, a warmth, an excitement in life. Both of these cards are Sagittarius. And again, the both of you, all these cards actually, if the pair of you, it's almost like you know who you are, as in you know that you are half human and half spirit. I'm saying that because that's where the name HULUPPU came from Gilgamesh, who was half human, half spirit. But it is that feeling, it's like, and you know what's going on in life. You know there's something else around you or inside you that is otherworldly, I guess, in some way. Wrong words, but... So how will they recognise you? Maybe long limbs, maybe sporty, maybe it has something to do with your mouth. I don't know. Oftentimes Sagittarius tend to wear very relaxed clothing, a lot of sporty type of gear, outdoorsy. Oftentimes Sagittarius put their hair in plaits as well, so Aquarius and Sagittarius tend to play with their hair, and plaits are something that seems to happen. Madonna's always got her hair in plaits, she's Aquarius rising. But without going too much into features, can I just say something else there? Farsa eyes as well, always Sagittarius. Yeah. Often very hippie, very sort of, I'm in my camper van and I'm going around the world feeling. So I guess with regards to how they'll pick up your energy spiritually and physically will be open, warm, excitable, fiery, adventurous, inclusive of everybody else. Physically, maybe the long limbs, maybe the wide set eyes, maybe the Charlie the cat mouth. Yeah, I have to Google that one too. That's an old one. But I don't know. As in, you can get people that don't have those particular Sagittarian qualities. And I was saying earlier with Pisces about the ears, it's the same sometimes with Sagittarius, but the ears tend to be bigger. And big ears tend to be a bit sort of a gambler, which is a very Sagittarian energy. It's a bit like devil may care type of energy. So, to put that all together, without talking about it too much, how will they recognise you? Excitement, inspiration, openness, inclusiveness. I don't know what about the physically stuff, but I'll try my best. Okay, so why will you meet again in this lifetime? because you've had a past lifetime there. Okay. Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is, it's a bit like mental trauma. It's a bit, I'm not laughing there really. I'm laughing trying to find the words. There's a little light coming on here. It's a bit like something difficult happened that may be a blight in one of yours life. I don't know what that is yet. And they've come back. Possibly you've come together to, I don't know yet, to rectify that. Because all the other cards are very positive, but that is why you here now. It's like shining a light into something. Don't know, I need some more cards. These two cards are supposed to add to that with regards to spiritually and emotionally. This is more of a practical feeling. And to have the Swords come up for practical, it's got to do with something to do with the mind and how you perceive things, or but everything's very positive at the top there. So let's have a look. Connecting in a way that feels stable. And if you've got Sagittarius energy, stability, because it's a mutable sign, that's not something you're looking for. So why would you have stability? Show you the card here. Fours are always stability. If you look at the number 4, you can fit it into a square. It looks as if it's, you know, it's the Emperor card. It's stability, organisation, and that's what that card is saying here. So, but I'm thinking here, Pisces energy, I know this isn't, but this is, and Sagittarius energy are possibly the most unstable, in a good way or bad way, depends on which, on how we act, I suppose, or how we act with within ourselves. But they are unstable. They don't look for stability. They don't want it. They're too busy, you know, being open, trying new things. And so why would you be brought together in this lifetime to be stable? Let's see with this card here. Confidence, to shine, to be seen, it's like preparing. To me, I would think here, to put these two cards together, it's like you've had what I guess is the travelling lifestyles, or the travelling mind at least, for a long time. There's definitely a connection between the pair of you that's very strong there. You haven't met yet, but when you get together, it's almost like you slow down, or that you earth something, or you ground something, and that's where your glory may be, to concentrate on something. It's like people that possibly are better together, that maybe work together, that through staying in a particular place for a longer period of time allows them to grow, to expand, to be seen, to connect with people. Because this is like being worshipped, and this is stability. And you've got a card here where it's like, this is like mind pollution here. So I would possibly guess here that in past lifetimes, maybe you've both kept moving because you thought that staying still was, I'm going to be over dramatic here, felt like death. I don't mean literally death. It would feel suffocating. It would feel like you were tied down. This is too much Sagittarius Pisces energy to not be something like that. And then you've got the shining through being stable. And I think that connecting together and being similar personalities allows you both to understand each other's wants and desires, but to stop running. God, I think of a film as I'm saying that. There must be some film that's like that, when the person just, they meet each other and they stop running. It's not Logan's Run. I still have nightmares about that. Yeah, I do still have nightmares about Logan's Run. So I can understand this energy because I don't like to stay still. But I can also understand there's a time in life when it can actually pay to not be too much of one thing and possibly be something else. But you can only do that if you're understood possibly with the person that you're with. So this spiritual connection, I think that is going to come towards you. I don't think you've met this person already. There's going to be there's similar personalities, very open, very pliable, very easygoing, very excited by life. Somebody that's always got doing things at the weekends and having friends round. I feel that you've had past lives together which have felt very connected, very easy, very kind, very gentle, very open. Again, open is definitely something I would say here, Pisces, Sagittarius. There's a blight in possibly, that sounds really harsh, doesn't it? There's a hiccup in both of your personalities where you possibly think that if you stay still, things will go wrong. And I think that together you'll be able to be more consistent, to be able to hold a job down, it's like you get a chance to shine, but it's in a different way. It's not through constant movement. It's not through excitement coming in all the time. It is just being. And I feel there's some sort of public recognition here for one of you with this card here, but only if you stay in the place for a little bit longer. Whether that is with a job scenario, because of the creativity here, it wouldn't surprise me if one or both of you are creative, whether you're artists in some way, and maybe that will come more to the forefront if you stay still. So that's what I've got. That may be something to do with why you're brought together, but it's definitely to not keep running, to not keep experiencing all the time. You can have this sort of inspiration, is the word that we use, but you don't have to move. You don't have to go to the next job all the time. You don't have to move abroad. You don't have to try the next person. You can just have it with consistency as well, but not too much. You can't deny your own personalities, but that's what I've got there. So that is who you'll be connecting with, and that's what it will feel like. Okay, I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you. Bye. Okay, pile number 3. So reconnecting with a spiritual partner. We're looking for how will you recognize them, how will they see you, and what type of relationship will it be. I've already turned one card around. I don't know why I did that, but the first card is turned around, which is their spiritual energy. You've got the 3 of Swords here. I show you the card, which is difficult, to be honest. This is the energy that you'll recognize, where they are, that you'll sense if you're standing next to them and not say anything. It will feel like pain, it will feel like hurt. I've met somebody like this recently, a very attractive person as well, but there's a sadness about them. There's a real quietness and sadness about them that feels, and I do know the person's relationship, not the person, well, I know the person's background and I can understand where it's coming from, but and they get themselves into messes a lot as well. I feel that this person may have had a difficult, particular, it could be childhood, it could be something that's happened recently, it could be somebody passed away that they were close to, but there's a sadness about them. Again, I know that's a weird start, but that's exactly what it is. It's like a pain and a sadness. Let's have a look how you recognise them physically. The Queen of Wands is obviously a feminine card, but it's a gutsy, I'm going to say it's not but. Yes, I think I actually do mean that though. Masculine and feminine energy to me doesn't matter whether you're male or female. Feminine energy pulls inwards and is receptive and allows, where masculine energy is like the Mars is energy that pushes outwards. This is feminine and masculine together. So the Queen of Wands here, as I said, is feminine, but it's somebody who pushes their energy outwards to get what they want. There's courage, they're not afraid, it's gutsy, there's a little bit of wildness there. It's somebody who possibly experiments, and somebody who possibly doesn't take no for an answer, and they make their own mind up. Courageous, great word, but I thought, yeah, that is what I would say there. So somebody who is strong, and there's a mixture here between feminine and masculine feeling, where the femininity can be seen as allowing, or let me move the cards so you can see them all. They may be outgoing in their energy and how they interact with the world. They may be in charge of something, or they may have a strong voice, or they may be assertive, but you will sense either in the look in the eye, or just if you're very intuitive, the vibe that they give off, a sadness. There was something on YouTube the other day, and it was just a 3-minute clip of Donald Trump. who is possibly quite masculine. I don't know actually. He seems quite feminine in his younger years when he's been looked at, but he acts quite masculine. So it's like, well, I'm not going to go into it. But he's hearing about something and he looks sad. And I don't know whether, you get different things from different parties, don't you? Some bigging up, the other, pulling down. So I don't take much notice of it really. But it looked sad, as in like, I've had enough. I've had enough. I don't think that is so, but that's what the video was trying to say. He's a masculine man, pushes outwards, invades, tries to get more, materials, tries to get more land, but they were recognising the femininity in him in that moment, whether it was real or not, I don't know. But that is what you've got there, a mixture of somebody who can be assertive, but an inner, I'm going to say pain. I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, so past life connection or situation between you both. The Fool card. Now that is funny. Two different feelings here, the Fool card. The Fool card could possibly mean that you may not have experienced a lifetime together because it is the beginning of the major arcana. But it could also mean that you did experience, and the rest of the cards will hopefully give me some added info here, that you experienced excitement, an energetic connection, a otherworldly feeling, a very spiritual connection that felt, it felt new. It's like new energy. So whether you have just met or whether it was very short, maybe even short contact, that somebody that, really sort of, I'm going to say this, it always sounds rude when I say it, blew you away. Why is that rude? There's no need for it to be, is there? But you couldn't quite hold on to them. So there's something in there. Maybe the rest of the cards will give added information because you've got three different things there. An excited connection that could have lasted a long time. A quick connection that really caught your eye and you wanted more of, or you haven't met at all. So yeah, I don't know, to be honest. That's what I've got. Let's have a look. These should add to it. The emotional connection, the page of, I know what it is. It's you met for a short time. This is the Page of Pentacles. It's something that happened that's practical, but it's very small. It's a small gift. It's Pentacle energy is earth energy. You spent a small amount of time together and it was incredibly exciting. So this person gets pulled into your life where something was started. It's like a holiday romance type feeling in a past life. When you meet somebody, and especially when you're abroad, everything feels more exciting, doesn't it? And you felt they were the one, but situations pulled you apart. It doesn't have to be a holiday. It could be just a short romance that just didn't work out for some particular reason, but it's the emotions, the excitement, the possibilities is very much embedded in you, in yourselves, and hence that's why you pull them together, why you're both pulled together in this lifetime. And I said, I think in pile number 1, that if something's going to bring you back, and this something brings us all back, it's our emotions that do it. And I was explaining, ghosts in particular emotional situations, like a battlefield, that's where you'll feel the energy. Or ghosts that, if they're murdered, like walking around the murder scene, through walls or whatever. And I also said as well that in some ways that if there are people who are aware of this and use it for negative situations, how do you think they'd keep us all here or keep bringing us back, even if you're working on releasing karma through an energetic shock, which will possibly be manipulated? But who wants to hear about that at this particular time of the day? Nobody. So let's keep going with what we've got here. An emotional, energetic shock to your system that was small, that excited you. Their energy was assertive, but there's something that you'll recognise in this lifetime, that they've been through some difficulty. There's a sadness in them. Yeah, I don't know what that. We'll get more information, I guess. So, have you already met? Well, again, possibilities. You have got the Six of Swords here. Have you already met? And you've got the Three of Swords here. Both of those are like chironic healing, pain feeling. You may have already met, but this person could be married. This person could have been taken away from you. This could have been somebody from work that you lost or spent some time with already. It's possible that you could have already met, but I don't think it would have been easy. I think it would have been difficult. So many different ways this could have been difficult. It could have been, those conversations that you have that are incredibly awkward. And you try, you meet somebody that you like and you're trying to introduce yourself and be grown up, and it all comes out wrong and you end up either insulting them or talking complete crap. It could even be something like that. But to me, it feels as if it's a little bit more than that because of the beginning card here. It feels that the timing could be difficult. This person may be tied to some situation in some ways, possibly what I'm thinking there. And you're trying to reignite something, both of you trying to reignite something that started in a past lifetime. So you may have met, but the timing was maybe not right. So it may not have gone the direction that you wanted it to. And maybe this person wasn't even happy in the situation that they were in, but they still couldn't move out of it. I don't know if that means anything, but that's what I would get from these two cards together. Just going to have a drink, excuse me. Your spiritual energy in their eyes. How do they see you spiritually? The Wheel card, very different from themselves. You are like the gift. You are the positivity. The Wheel card is Jupiterian. It's like luck. I can't say luck because I'm northern. It's like luck. Look. It's like luck. It's good for Luck. Good fortune, happiness, enjoyment in life, openness, opportunities, things getting better. So you are the verve in life that they seem to be externally but don't actually feel internally. And I always say this because it is true. In people's charts, what we often do is we reflect the part of ourselves that we don't act out. And so this person is acting something out, but you're actually reflecting the bit that it feels as if maybe it's a little bit of a show, or they're just doing it, but it doesn't feel internally as if they are that when they go home, if that makes sense, because you've got this pain here. But you are the part of them that really is deep down fun, exciting, creative, courageous, what the words that we said here, outward moving, positive. So you are that. And that's often why you get people whose, I'm going to say masculine and feminine energy click together, click together. My son sat downstairs. My son, and I won't go into that because it's just too much, but I will just say, let's just say that your person has Leo, Aries or Sagittarius Sun. You could very possibly have a fire Venus or Moon, something like that. Okay, so how do they recognise you physically? The Star card. Wait for this. When I go on about physical things, honest to God, I know I sound mad. The Star card is Aquarian. How do I recognise Aquarians? There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do with this. That male or female, it can be different. Aquarians, to me, they tend to have longer faces. They tend to have more oblong type faces. Think Cumberbatch. What's his name? It's like maybe a little bit like. Okay, let me just tell you the Aquarians. Matt Dillon. That to me is a very Aquarian face. Eyes thick eyebrows, straight across, longer face. That to me is a very Aquarian. As soon as I saw him, I thought, oh, you've got to have some Aquarius in you. They can tend to have longer bodies, as in like their waist tends to be slim when they're younger. The very important word, they're younger, and they tend to have like long waists. The energy. So it's not just physically. I don't like talking about physically because I know that it's just like you may just get one thing. But I'm going to tell you anyway because it's interesting. I do think it's interesting when you see Aquarians. I was looking at Russell Crowe last night. Ask me why. And thinking, I wish you'd find him really attractive. But I've always found Aquarian men very attractive. And there was something about him. I tried to think, why do you seem Aquarius? And then I can remember we started talking about UFOs. I thought, oh my God, you are Aquarius. But there is just something in his face. And I remember looking at him young. I don't even know what it was. I honestly can't even say what it is. But who do I know that's Aquarius that I can help you? Yeah, I don't know. Do you know, to be honest, as I'm thinking this, the bits that I've said, that does happen. You can tend to have straight eyebrows, strong eyebrows. You can tend to have a long face, but in an Aquarius type, and it's the energy that you pick up. And you can smell it a mile off. It's somebody who has their own moral compass, and they're continually wondering where it sits. And what you'll see in everything that they say, that they're still trying to find that. I've seen that so many times on YouTube, to be honest, or Instagram, and I've forgotten their names now. Denzel Washington is always one that I think of whenever he says something. He's trying to find out what is going on in life. Shilo is another one I always mention. You can tell that he's Aquarius. Again, trying to find their own moral compass. I've forgotten the other guys. There's loads of them. You can see them a mile off. Captain America is another one I always said. I don't remember his name. There's a really famous actor that used to be in some old films. Ethan Hawke. Another one. Somebody asked him, it was a clip about being interviewed on an American chat show. So what do you think of death? Or what do you think about death? And he was like, yeah, I'm going to answer this. And you could see that he thought about it since the moment he was born. He was like, this is what I think about it. And everybody clapped, and cheered in the audience. And the guy who was asking the question, I don't know who it was, American presenter, was like, oh my Lord. So that's how I think you will come across to them. It's a very positive, what I guess is a very in the know, profound, a strong moral compass, and always looking for the right answers in the world. So yeah, it's almost like you're going to answer in some way just by being with you. You don't have to do anything. The pain in the answer why the pain is there inside themselves, if that makes sense. Why are they feeling? It's not answer's the wrong word. They'll feel that they will heal from just being with you because you're searching and you're positive. It's like holding on. You're like a piece of silver lining. You're like a cloud balloon that's got a bit of the lining coming off, the silver lining, and they're holding on to it and being pulled along with you. And you know where you're going type feeling. So that's how they will see you. I don't know whether you've got a long back or straight eyebrows. Aquarian women I find a lot harder to recognise. Yeah, and another thing about Aquarians, there's often a love of music, a love of more modern music rather than classical music. Like DJing, that type of thing. So that's how they'll recognise you, your record collection. That's not very modern, is it? Okay, it might be. So why will you meet again in this lifetime? The Hierophant card, that's to solidify something. It's a Taurian card. It's to, let's have a look at the rest of your cards. Yeah, solidify it, of course. You didn't spend much time with them. They got a little sort of sniff of you and you disappeared. So it's to spend more time with you. And I was saying in the last spread there, when I look at people's charts and I put their charts together, most of the time we look at Saturn and Capricorn, which can be hard work, consistency, materialism. I'm not going to carry on too much. But it's also karma. So when you get it, Saturn connections in synastry, which is when you put two people's charts together to see how they relate, you want a Saturn connection there, even on a personal planet. It's fine. It's fine. Most of the time you're like, get it away from me when it's a transit. But that is why you've been here, to actually solidify, to spend real time together, as in practical, earthy time, to experience life together. So that's why you've been brought together, because you yearning for it and didn't get the chance possibly in a past lifetime. This is more emotional and spiritual connections. The Tower card and the Queen of Cups. The Tower card is a shock, a breakthrough, strong feelings, and the Queen of Cups is somebody who wants an emotional connection. It's like a yearning inside of, I guess this is you. It's like a yearning inside of you to have a very powerful connection. You sensed it here, but you didn't get to hold on to it. But it had an impact on you either way, strong impact. What you want now is that impact as strong but elongated, so you get to spend time with them. So you're looking for a strong connection because it had a strong effect on you. I guess the word visceral there, is that the right word? Yes, and the Queen of Cups there is to love. So it's straightforward. It may sound a bit sort of long-winded as I'm saying it. I feel that you've come back together because there was a taste of something big. Oh, that sounds rude. Let me say that again. I think you've come back together because you had a big impact on each other and you wanted to see what it actually felt like to spend time with each other. What you're getting is you're coming across as somebody who is very understanding about life and very positive in your personality. They are half of that, but there's some pain there. There's some sort of issue there. I don't know. Let's put another card on that one. You may have met before. This person may have been through some difficult times and you may have already sensed it. Because those two went together, didn't they? And this is, have you met before? It's the fire again with the pain. Fire again. It's like passion. It's like a taste of passion. These two cards are passionate. This is like Eros's arrows flying through the air, excitement, communication, you know, it's like flirty. And the King of Wands is somebody that likes to move, likes to activate life. And you've got here the Queen of Wands with a similar feeling, but you've got here pain. So what I guess is you may have met before and it may have felt that, you may have felt the strength that you will get here and want to earth, but you couldn't, it wasn't, not excuse me, I was going to say it's not that it wasn't reciprocated, you couldn't act on it, is probably what I get with the Wands cards here. You never got the chance to do it, and it's nipping at a past life feeling that happened before, and so the strength of it gathers until you actually get together. And the Queen of Cups there offer love to each other, which I know sounds ridiculous, but that's what it is. It's connected in an emotional way that has some form of practicality and consistency to it. That's what you want. So that's what will happen when you reconnect with the spiritual partner that you may have already met. Oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. But I'm going to leave that there. I hope that makes sense to you in some way. Thank you very much. Bye.